Sure, you want to make money when acquiring the right business, but you'll make even more if you get it for a steal. Negotiation is extremely important, and being bad at it is an insane liability. Every word you say could either tip the scale towards a lucrative deal or another missed opportunity. Negotiation and business acquisition isn't just a bonus skill, it's a non-negotiable prerequisite that you need to know. If you want to reach a level where cracking great deals becomes something you can do without even trying, you need a good grasp on human psychology, market trends, and counteroffers. Let's get into it. Understanding the seller's motivation. Now, every seller has a unique reason for selling their business. It can be retirement, a desire to pursue something else, or out of financial necessity. You need to understand this and find that out because you must adjust your negotiation strategy based on their motivation to sell in the first place. For example, if a business owner is retiring, they might care more about who takes care of the business rather than squeezing out every penny. If it's financial pressure, they might be open to a quicker and lower offers. Market analysis evaluation. You need to know the market value of the business and compare it with other businesses in the same industry. You wouldn't buy a car without knowing what it's worth on the market, so don't treat business acquisition the same way. Don't rely solely on the seller's valuation. Bring in professionals. Don't assume business owners are on your side because it doesn't benefit them to be. They usually only care about their own needs more than yours. That makes sense. Do thorough market research, understand the industry trends, and evaluate the business's financial health. For example, for an HVAC company, look at the regional competitors, the market demand, and the company's financial history to determine what a fair offer is. Now, your initial offer is critical. It sets the tone for any further negotiations. Start with a reasonable, data-backed offer. Too low, and you risk offending the seller. Too high, and you leave no room for further negotiation. So here's an example. When acquiring a plumbing business, base your offer on its earnings, assets, and the market position, leaving room to negotiate up. When you submit a letter of intent or an LOI, it's a pivotal moment in the acquisition process. The biggest, most common mistake of new buyers is engaging in negotiations for too long of time. Let the LOI speak for itself. The key is to be firm. The seller should either accept the LOI, counter it, or walk away. The decisiveness prevents you from getting trapped in endless discussions that lead nowhere. Don't waste your time. Here's some do's and don'ts in business acquisition negotiations. 1. Insist on exclusivity. An exclusivity clause in your LOI is a non-negotiable. It ensures that you, as the buyer, are the only party the seller is negotiating with. Without this, you'll be wasting time while the seller shops around better offers. For example, if you're negotiating with a local HVAC business, by securing exclusivity, you avoid the risk of the seller using your offer as leverage to get higher bids, making it much more straightforward negotiation. Focus on written agreements. Verbal promises are unreliable and they're not worth anything. If it's not formally written down, you're at risk for many different problems, such as scamming, then deciding to not go through with the deal at the last minute, etc. Ensure that all agreements, from price to future commitments, are documented. For example, if negotiating with a plumbing business, get terms regarding client lists, supplier contracts, and employee retention in writing to avoid future disputes and problems. Learn from others. Assemble a strong team. Leverage the experience of mentors, advisors, or industry experts on your deal. Their insights can prevent many common mistakes and prevent you from losing money. Assemble a team that includes an M&A advisor, an accountant, and a lawyer. Team with diverse expertise can provide a well-rounded perspective. Don't ignore the seller's signals. If a seller is quoting a price far beyond what you consider reasonable and they show no sign of negotiating, don't bother. Continue negotiations in a scenario like this leads to waste of your time, waste of your resources, and it's just not worth it. I once tried to negotiate back and forth with an unreasonable seller, over 5 times back and forth, to get them to see that their business was half of what they were selling it for. And all it did was make me frustrated and waste my time. Don't get attached to a single deal. An emotional attachment will cloud your judgment. You need to always be prepared to walk away if the terms become favorable. Never bring emotions into business. For example, if you love a particular business, but if the valuation is unjustifiably high, move on. Just move on. Countless new buyers get stuck up on this point and in the end lose out on the deal and they fail. Don't waste time on unwilling sellers. Recognize when a seller is not genuinely interested in selling at a reasonable price or terms. If they keep throwing unrealistic numbers and expectations at you, it's simply not worth your time. They likely won't budge and you will end up with nothing. For example, if a seller consistently delays meetings, provides incomplete information, and throws numbers at you that aren't even close to their actual valuation, it indicates that they have a lack of intent to sell. So move on. Dealing with counteroffers. Be prepared for and open to counteroffers and understand your upper limit and have a clear reason for your counteroffer. After a thorough financial analysis, determine the maximum amount you can afford and that you're willing to pay. This should be based on the business's valuation, your available funds, and the potential of the return on investment. Be ready to walk away if the deal doesn't meet your criteria. One of the strongest negotiation tools is the ability to walk away. If the deal exceeds your upper limit, simply walk away. This isn't just a bluff. You need to be willing to do that. You need to understand seller psychology. Recognize that the seller may have emotional attachment or unrealistic expectations about what their business is worth. Regardless, be firm in your negotiations, and if it's too much, simply walk away. Now, to close the negotiation, as they come to an end, it's important to summarize all the agreed upon terms. This ensures that all parties are on the same page and prevents future misunderstandings, future legal issues. The next step is to get everything in writing. Now, this typically involves drafting a purchase agreement, which should be done by a legal professional. Before signing the agreement, form a final round of financial due diligence. This is your last chance to verify that all information presented by the seller is accurate and that no new issues have appeared. Sometimes last-minute issues may arise that require negotiation, so be prepared to make small adjustments that are reasonable and don't significantly impact the deal's value. Once everything's in order, both parties sign the purchase agreement. Now, this is the formal commitment to the term of the sale. Now you have finally acquired a profit-making business and you're beginning to make real money. Now, in my last acquisition of an ATM route, negotiations with the seller took over 3 months and really got into the minutia. But the seller was still acting in good faith. They wanted to get the deal done and they were putting in the effort to make it happen. In that case, I didn't mind the deal taking forever as I knew that it would get across the finish line eventually. Now that you've reached the end of this video, you've just been given everything you need so you can negotiate when acquiring a business. If you are still losing out on negotiations and need help, I've acquired 6 businesses and helped hundreds of others leaving their 9-to-5 by buying cash flowing businesses. I can guide you along every step of the way. And I have just built an acquisition community that is dedicated to helping first-time buyers learn the same strategies that I used to get my first deal done. And you get access to courses, templates, deal calculators, and me on our live calls where I answer your questions and give you personal tips how to get your deal done. So if you're interested, follow the link below and join. And if you want to learn more about the step-by-step process to acquire your first business, click on the video on your screen. Now, see you all in the next one. Talk soon.